Yogairai and Tom finally arrived. Tomo was brimming with joy, while Yogairai was fighting off sleep. They saw the city guards moving to shut the gate and sprinted towards them but motioned for them to stay put while they fetched their leader. The leader showed up, clearly irked by the situation. He questioned if they had lost their way from the group that had come earlier. Tomo was thrilled to find out he could converse in Japanese. Yogairai, on the other hand, got straight to the point and asked if they could be allowed in to reunite with their group. The leader, visibly annoyed, pointed out that entry usually came at a price. Yogairai brought up their group's plan to head to the capital and asked for directions. The leader, who was not exactly a sight for sore eyes, made it clear that he wouldn't stand in their way nor lend a helping hand. Yogairai, despite his lack of cooperation, expressed her gratitude and decided it was time to leave. But then, the leader, who was becoming more and more pleasant, suggested that Tomo should stay the night at his place. She promptly declined his offer and pulled Yogairai along. Once they entered the city, Yogairai questioned why she had run. She confessed that she was scared that Yogairai was about to harm him. This left Yogairai puzzled, and he asked if she thought he was a dangerous criminal. She responded with surprise that he hadn't realized it himself. As they looked around, Tomo was thrilled. The city was like something out of a fantasy novel, teeming with beast folk. A cat girl named Mayu approached them, asking if they were sage candidates. She could tell they seemed lost, as if it was their first time in the city. Mayu explained that she wanted to assist them free of charge. This left the two of them puzzled, and they asked why she would do that. Mayu said she wanted to befriend the sage candidate boys for two reasons: they had a promising future, and they were easy to charm. Yogairai was curious about her opinion on their situation. She said she wanted to explore the city before it got dark, as that was her goal. Yogairai asked Mayu to show them around. After Tomo's shopping spree, she admitted that she never expected to wear this new type of clothes so casually. However, she was so oblivious that she didn't notice that they were currently surrounded. Yogairai revealed that he had anticipated this situation. Tomo apologized, saying that she wanted to follow Mayu because she seemed kind. The bandits began their threats, but Yogairai shielded the girl, asking if they were after money. The outlaws made it clear that while they were interested in money, their primary objective was to target sage candidates who lacked any special abilities. However, sage candidates without gifts were the perfect victims to rough up and exploit. Tomo began to panic, but Sigma Yogairai remained calm. He acknowledged their terms but requested permission to eliminate the bandits. The bandits scoffed at this, asserting that they would be the ones doing the killing. Tomo attempted to alert Mayu, insisting that despite his unassuming appearance, Yogairai was formidable. However, this naive cat girl dismissed it as a bluff. Yet, Yogairai, with his verbal death note, commanded everyone behind him to perish in an instant. They all fell, and the remaining bandits were left bewildered. Yogairai proceeded with his mission, instructing the leopard man to half-die. The man collapsed, and Yogairai realized that being half-dead wasn't feasible. He decided to experiment and targeted the chicken man's ankle, commanding it to die. He then targeted an unsightly man's shoulder, commanding it to die. The man met his end. Yogairai revealed that he attempted to be lenient and commanded a dog man's eyeballs to die. The man was rendered blind, leaving everyone in shock. Yogairai's relentless assault prompted Mayu to question his identity. Yogairai remained silent, contemplating the inefficiency of killing individual body parts. Mayu attempted to garner sympathy, pleading for help as her younger siblings awaited her return home. However, Yogairai dismissed this, stating that it didn't justify theft and murder. The final bandit questioned if Yogairai wasn't without talent, to which Yogairai responded by pointing at them and commanding them die. Surprisingly, it doesn't work, they remain alive and attempt to flee. Chua questions if Yogairai is letting them escape, but Yogairai clarifies that he merely postponed his command. The two bandits manage to conceal themselves, but the death command is activated. Yogairai informs Tomoa that it's time to depart, but they're halted by guards seeking information about the situation. Yogairai fabricates a story, claiming they stumbled upon the dead bodies. One guard disputes this, revealing she witnessed everyone drop suddenly as they were preparing to attack the duo. This infuriates Tu-cha, as it implies the guards were observing but didn't intervene. The guard explains their intention was to eliminate the bandits' supporter as well. Yogairai comprehends that the guards intended to allow them to be sold, then trace the buyers. However, one guard uses his appraisal skill and discovers that neither Yogairai nor Tomoe possess gifts. The revelation shocks the girl, but it also means they can't harm the duo due to their lack of powers. One guard apologizes for his captain's rudeness, comparing her to a typical Karen, but Yogairai is unfazed. He inquires if the guard knows of a place where they could spend the night. They're escorted to a grand mansion, which astonishes Tomoe, who mistakes it for a castle. Yogairai asks if she's comfortable sharing a room with him to save money, but she's hesitant. He then decides to request adjacent rooms. Upon entering her spacious room, Tua is filled with joy. However, she can't help but question Yogi's motives when he suggested they share a room. But she quickly recalls that his primary interest lies in her watermelons. Suddenly, she spots a spirit floating in the air. It bears a striking resemblance to her older sister, prompting her to inquire about its origins. The spirit clarifies that they are distinct entities and introduces herself as Moco. Tomoe is puzzled by this revelation, and the spirit explains that she manifested to assist her during this crisis. Tua questions why the spirit chose to appear now rather than earlier. The spirit confesses that she feared Yogairai might obliterate her. Tua is taken aback by the realization that Yogairai's ability affects spirits. The spirit implores Tua to discuss her existence with Yogairai to ensure her safety. Tua agrees and inquires about the spirit's purpose for being here. In summary, the spirit discloses that she can shield Tua from all harm except physical attacks. She also reveals the reason behind Tua's lack of a gift: it's because the spirit has been protecting her. This revelation angers Tu-cha, prompting her to demand an explanation. The spirit admits that it was a dangerous situation. She further explains that while gifts have their benefits, they also enable Cyan to manipulate her life. Tua and 3 others were also safeguarded by spirits, but her ancestor is unaware of this. Nevertheless, the spirit is elated to finally have a successor for her archery school. Tua dismisses her, expressing her desire to return to her world and her current reliance on Yogairai. The spirit is thrilled, stating that this is why she must teach her true martial arts. The following morning, Yogairai notices Tua's fatigue. She admits that it's due to recent events and asks if they will reunite with the others. Yogairai explains that he met Celestina, a staff member at the hotel who helped locate the others, prepared language translation, and arranged for some concealment items. Moreover, Celestina created a device that allows him to charge his console. Celestina provides them with tickets to exit the city, and Yogairai requests her to safeguard all his belongings. They later embark on a train journey with Tomoe's ancestor still fearful of Yogairai. Tomoe inquires about her ancestor, but he admits that he only became aware of her when she mentioned it. She then joins him and wonders if they'll be able to reconnect with their peers. Yogairai responds, stating that according to Celestina, their companions should be scattered throughout the primeval forest for training. Suddenly, he turns towards her and shoves her down. An enormous explosion rips the ceiling apart, leaving her bewildered. Meanwhile, back in the previous city, the guards are attempting to question a dog that was blinded by Yogairai. The dog remains silent, and they explain that healing magic is ineffective. A wise woman named Lane finds this intriguing. She removes one of the dog's eyes and uses her healing magic to rebuild it completely. However, the dog remains blind. Intrigued, she reveals her true identity as a vampire. She bites the man, hoping to enhance his abilities and heal him through transformation, but he remains blind. Suddenly, the building begins to tremble, and a man known as the hero materializes. He launches several attacks at Lane, but she merely complains about her dress. The guards are puzzled because she appears unharmed, but in reality, she is healed instantly. The hero discards his sword, and Lane questions why he is attacking her instead of confronting the demon lord. The hero labels her a tyrant and readies himself for an attack. The building is obliterated in a massive explosion, and he is overjoyed, believing he has finally succeeded in assassinating the sage for Ariel. However, Lane survives and questions if Ariel is his sweetheart. The hero is stunned, unable to fathom how Lane evaded the attack. Lane clarifies that she didn't dodge because she is immortal. The hero is perplexed, as his attack should have annihilated her, but she merely wishes that were feasible. Eventually, the hero pleads for his own death, but she casually hurls him off the building. Meanwhile, on the train, an announcement instructs passengers to remain calm as the sage battles an aggressor. Yogairai assumes they are safe since no one is pursuing them, but Tamacha is clueless about the situation. They survey their surroundings and spot a colossal mecha robot, which Yogairai identifies as the aggressor. Tomoe uses her exceptional vision to inform him that the sage is levitating. The sage unleashes several attacks on the robot, but their battle is evenly matched. It's quite common for mountains to be destroyed during such fights. Tomoe inquires if Yogairai can also eliminate those, but he questions her reasoning. She argues that they are in their path, but Yogairai counters that it's illogical because he could use the same justification to kill anyone who crosses his path. She attempts to argue that they could have been killed just now, but Yogairai insists they aren't being targeted. She apologizes for her naivety when suddenly a massive attack is launched in their direction. Fortunately, the robot intercepts the attack. The sage grumbles about the robot's movement and retaliates with a powerful ice spell. The passengers are frozen, but Yogairai manages to shield Tua. Tua labels the sage as cruel, but he becomes irritated. Yogairai questions why they were attacked, but the sage orders him to kneel and worship him like a dog. He begins to insult Yogairai, but Yogairai retorts and contemplates killing him. The sage collapses onto the floor, and Tomoe asks if he was responsible. He simply responds that he had a valid reason to do so. The robot approaches them, but it clarifies that it has no intention to engage in combat. The robot seeks to negotiate with Yogairai, offering to fulfill any of his desires. Tua discerns that the robot fears Yogairai. However, Yogairai inquires if there's a method to return to their world. The robot indicates that it knows a way to return to its own world, not theirs. Yogairai questions if the robot can transport them there, but the robot declines, stating that its entire existence is not in this world. Moreover, the robot refuses to bring someone as perilous as Yogairai to its world. It then elucidates that this world is one of the lowest levels, and ascending requires a substantial amount of energy and the correct coordinates. Yogairai then requests the robot to advise him on how to locate the energy and coordinates to return to his world. Later that day, the guards discover the sage that was vanquished by Yogairai. Shaun also learns about them while conversing with Lane and finds it intriguing that they managed to slay a sage. Lane is fascinated by Yogairai's instant death ability, but Cyan discloses that the sage is supposed to have resistance to instant death. Cyan then departs, and Lane instructs her subordinate to head to Hanabusa City and investigate Yogairai and Tomoe. Meanwhile, the duo rests for the night in the woods where Tomoe's ancestors revealed that she gave a katana made of her underwear. Thanks for watching, please subscribe, and see you on the next episode. Love you guys.